This week on Coffin, Fodder, we're going to a strange island run by depraved maniacs. No, not that island. This is the 2018 Netflix movie, Apostle.
I am the devil, and I am here to do the devil's work.
I like to dissect girls.
This is God.
We have such sights to show you.
Look at me, Damien. It's all for you.
When there's no more room in hell, the dead will walk here.
I see dead red.
Even in hell. Oh, yes. Oh, no tears, please.
They're here.
Here's Johnny.
Hello and welcome to episode 44 of Coffin Fodder. I am your host, Mike Warby, and I am joined by the guy who just loves to explore underground blood rivers.
Yes.
Mr. Kyle Nickelborough.
Hello.
You ever find an old lady down there, Kyle?
I have found at least one old ladies in blood rivers that were underground, yes.
Nice.
Is that a euphemism? It's not.
Yeah, we'll just leave that where it is. And of course, the dude who loves to hold a mirror to his genitals. Do it every morning, Mr. Brady Silter.
It's from the back.
Hello indeed. And we're here to talk the 2018 Netflix gothic folk horror film, Apostle.
Gothic folk horror, I like that. That's apt.
Yeah,
That is accurate.
yeah, the first thing I thought of as I was watching the movie, the first thing I thought of was that like this would be a great companion piece to go with the Black Death.
I thought that as I was watching it. I forget exactly where I got.
I was like, I bet you guys
Yeah.
came to that same conclusion because it's like, you know, the isolated village of people worshiping the weird old lady and that.
It was so much that, yeah, worshiping like an old god in their isolated little area. I was like, man, this is a lot like Black Death. There was a specific spot. Maybe it'll come to me later. I don't know. Might have been the outfit of one of the guys. He looked like one of the executioner guys or one of the.
The soldier is all kind of look black.
That's what it was. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grinder. And then you find out why he's called the Grinder at the end.
Because he goes on the dating apps.
Yeah, I think I saw that guy in Washington. He was at the Republican convention. Oh, whoops.
Oh boy. Okay. And yes. So we are talking Apostle. Apostle is a movie about a man who goes to an island. His father sends him? Is it his dad?
It's his father. Yes, his father. Yeah.
Yeah, his dad kind of, he's like the sort of like fallen son he mentions that he used to be, what do you call it? A missionary.
Right. Yeah.
He was a missionary. He was at the China and kind of lost his faith over like the horrible shit that happened because he introduced the faith and
Yeah, he went as a missionary to try and instill, and something didn't go quite right, and there was some fighting and some burning and some.
oh yeah,
Branding.
It was during the Boxer Rebellion.
See, I never looked up what was happening in that time to see what they were referencing.
That's
Boxer
actually
rebellion.
Since you've watched Buffy, that's Spike in the Spike flashback episode that shows like his life. That's one of the ones. That's the first Slayer he kills. Is like a Chinese Slayer at during the Boxer Rebellion.
Nice.
Yeah. So he is sort of a fallen man. He seems to be very interested in drugs and alcohol.
Yeah, he's a bit of a ruffian, hey? He's not necessarily a clean-cut guy for a priest.
No, he looks rough. Like he looks like a rough dude especially when you first see him. Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's fallen on hard times and he's having a bad time. And his dad kind of recruits him to go and rescue his sister, hopefully from this cult.
Yes, some cult on some island somewhere. The details are vague.
The impetus is that the dad received a letter that she was being kind of held ransom because he's sort of out of means or whatever.
Absolutely.
Quote me if I'm wrong. He's one of the richest guys in the area.
I think that's said at some point. Yeah, they're from an extremely wealthy family.
Yeah.
And the sister was targeted because they're wealthy, and that's like Mike said. That's where the ransom note came in.
Yeah.
We've got our best buddy Dan Stevens as Thomas Richardson in this film, and he is the dude who was sent to rescue him. Man, fuck, I love Dan Stevens.
He's awesome. He's just so fucking. As three men sit here and gush about this guy, but he's just an awesome actor. He's great to watch. Have we done another movie of his on the podcast yet?
No, but I just watched Abigail with my girlfriend.
Oh hell yeah!
Last week.
Yeah.
And that movie, fuck that movie rules.
It's awesome. That'll be a future one.
Oh yeah, that's on my list.
I'm surprised it hasn't happened yet.
Yeah, it's been on my list. I just think, yeah, that movie fucking rules. And I didn't even recognize that was Dan Stevens in that movie.
You know, he can be, I mean, I feel like he even looks a little different in this, and he's really not. He's just in an older outfit.
He could I don't know, he's one of those guys who really disappears into whatever part he's playing.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
It's if you see, like, You have to see those sharp blue eyes to recognize him.
That's it, yeah.
And I think it's maybe because he's wearing glasses in Abigail.
He's definitely looks a lot different. I'm trying to think of the other movies. I mean,
The Guest. Yeah, The Guest, honestly. That was the big, and then he was in that Beauty and the Beast remake and what else?
That's right. He was No, he is awesome. I like the way he kind of carried himself in this movie to show that he's downtrodden. He comes off usually in his movies as a confident guy because he's got that leading man look, but in this he's just a little more, he's a little gruffer.
I think he's better as a character actor. I'm glad that that's where he ended up. For a bit, they had him in the 50 Shades of Grey and all that, and it kind of looked like he might. Yeah, it kind of seemed like they might steer him into the leading man route, but I'm glad he went the other way, and he's like kind of just a weird character actor now.
Yeah, me too. I'm a fan.
He's a chameleon. Like, yeah, he could do any role, and he's done some pretty good dramatic roles, and he's done some pretty good action roles too.
So yeah, he kind of takes the ferry, gets to the island, and that's kind of where things start to pop off, because like right away we get that scene where he deliberately swaps with the guy, pretends to be him, so that when because I can't remember what he notices, but something about it, he kind of gets the idea that they could catch on to him.
He notices that they're screening and assumes rightly that they would somehow know who is and who isn't supposed to be there. There's a character very early on after they get off the boat that suggests that there's other meetings happening off of the island, about the island. So there's people, maybe groups that are getting together, religious groups, cult groups, whatever it is. And so he knows that they're looking for people or screening. So he swaps a ticket and a suitcase or some such thing there.
It looks like blood or a stamp on his passport card or his travel ticket.
Yeah.
He should have checked for value. When he sees that everyone else's is marked, he kind of drops it and then grabs the other guys and helps him get his stuff. And the guy marks the X on the guy's suitcase.
Yeah.
The Royal Guard or whatever you want to call it.
When he's watching, so he's keeping tabs on what happens to the guy he's switched with, just to kind of give himself an idea of what's going on.
Unfortunately, he gets that motherfucker killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first major thing that kind of clues him in, is that guy gets shot in the head, I believe.
Yeah, he gets, he sees him getting surrounded, questions, beat, taken.
And they realize right away that he's not
the person.
He's not the person who snuck into the end.
Yeah, they do kill him, but right after they kill him, because they take him away to question him and interrogate him about an intruder or about what he knows. It's nothing. But they do realize that he's not the guy they're looking for, because they immediately say the intruder's still here on the island.
The guy who does it looks kind of like regretful about it.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it. That's what made me think it wasn't Quinn, because Quinn's just he's a piece of shit. Yeah. I don't think he would have even cared.
They kill him because they can't really take the chance, but I'm pretty sure they know that.
My read of that scene was that now that he knows there's like a secret place where people get dragged away and tortured, they can't let him go back.
Guess your hands are kind of tied at that point.
Yeah, so I think that's why they're like, we don't want to kill this guy because he didn't do anything, but we have to.
Yeah, but now he knows we kill people, so.
Yeah, now he knows the secret room where we torture people.
We've got the kill chamber, I guess.
Yeah, and then we start to meet the other characters on the island.
As he's walking up the path, you meet a few people. You get to meet Prophet Malcolm. Quinn comes in. That's the second-hand guy.
Malcolm Howell is Michael Sheen, probably the other big name in this movie.
Yeah, awesome actor. Big fan of him too.
Yeah, I agree.
I couldn't tell you what I've seen of his. It's more than few.
The only one I can think of is Frost Nixon.
I just remember Underworld very fondly. I think he was in like the sequel.
Now, if this was a video podcast, you could have seen the face.
Like Space of Disgust.
I choose bad movies.
Yeah.
That movie was like The Matrix, but it's like The Matrix if it has vampires. It was stupid as shit.
It wasn't even the first one. I think he was in a different one with werewolves or something. He was also in Tron, the newer Tron movie.
Oh, Tron Legacy.
Yep.
You could keep that other one, but Tron Legacy I've heard good things about. Yeah,
Tron Legacy is good. It also has good sound.
I heard the soundtrack rules. Yeah, Michael Sheen.
He's good shit.
Yeah, so he is the preacher Malcolm, the guy who kind of leads this weird island cult. Mm-hmm. And we have his right hand man, who is Quinn.
Yep.
And the reason there's a bit of like sort of conflict between them, because there was 3 of them who founded this religion on this island and all this stuff.
Right.
And the other guys, Quinn in particular, is very jealous that he gets the spotlight.
Yes.
And he gets all the adoration and gets everything.
Yeah.
Which will be important later because, as we mentioned, Quinn is a piece of shit.
He's kind of a bad dude.
Yeah.
Kind of not a nice person.
I wish he was a bad enough dude to save the president.
I don't.
Are you a bad enough dude to save the president?
I love that shit. You get a real congratulation at the end, too. Not that I ever beat it, but...
I beat it all the time.
a real bad dude.
Okay. Anyway, a movie. Yes. So Frank, who is Frank the other guy?
Frank is Jeremy's father.
Yep.
Yeah, those are the three founder guys.
Guys, yeah.
Okay, so Frank is the other one, and then we've got Jeremy and Fionn are the young lovers, the sort of star-crossed lovers who sneak away to get on a boat every once in a while.
Yep, and he sees, I believe, Thomas sees them sneaking around in the first little bit there.
And he kind of makes Jeremy his, bitch.
A little bit, yeah.
Well, Jeremy asks Thomas, what are you doing out past Bell? And Thomas pretty much says, I know you're doing the same thing. And he's like, you're going to be my ward or...
Yeah.
He basically blackmails him into, he's like, if you don't do what I say, I'm going to tell people that you're fucking bro's daughter, one of the founder's daughters, and that'll probably end up getting you killed. And
right away on first night, Thomas breaks curfew and sees those two canoodling in the...
having a tryst. Ooh, a bit of a tryst. A tryst. I love when he said, what were you doing out? I'm having a cigarette.
Yeah.
That's how I don't think cigarettes are even really a thing.
So those are all the main characters. And then Kristen Froseth, of course, is Fionn, his girlfriend, and then Lucy, was it Lucy Boynton?
Yeah, that's Andrea, right?
I mean, those are all of our key players basically who will be coming and going throughout the story.
Pretty much sums it up, yeah.
And then then there's other characters that kind of come and go, but most of them are not very important.
Villager number one.
Yeah, they're kind of like
two.
Like the chick who appears at the end and goes, "Thank God you came," or whatever. And I was like, who are you?
Yeah, man, I don't remember you. That's the girl you see in the beginning for 5 seconds.
She was the one that hands the receptacle to everyone that's fresh off the boat when.
Right. Yeah.
Which when she handed it, I was like, receptacle? Is that for shit?
Or a pee jar.
You find out what that's for.
It wasn't for pee or poop.
You guys will have to. I was a bit of a sleepy boy last night. Had a few of the old brewskis, as they might say.
So after the first day, and Thomas gets settled, and the night comes, and he sneaks out past curfew, and he comes back, yada yada. Once he returns after finding Jeremy and Fionn in the forest, he sees the jars out in front of everybody's rooms filled with a liquid. It was hard to tell. I don't know if it's just because what I was washing out was dark. Eventually, you realize it's blood.
I was gonna say it must have been blood. I certainly didn't get that.
It took a minute, but yeah. Then
I know they're feeding her blood at the end.
That's right. Yeah. The first little bit, I did not realize what the fuck.
Well, when they first show the jar is full of liquid, you could say it's anything. But then they show because when Tom's sneaking around, you see the one girl stab her arm and start gashing herself open and raise the jar.
I do remember that. I do remember when he sees her through a window or something.
Yeah, sees a couple or something. Was it just one girl?
It's one girl. It's a couple, but the one it's just the
they're
doing it. Yeah,
they're doing the rail for him. Yeah. So he obviously isn't going to make the offering because he's an intruder and not going to pay homage to their goddess.
He steals
someone else's blood and shoves it in his jar, but he pulls out his key to open his room and get in, and there's a little spike on it. Why is that spike there? I don't know. There's a little barb on it.
I'm guessing
that's himself anyway.
I was just saying, I'm guessing for Attack on Titan reasons.
Oh, of course, that would make sense. You gotta hide the truth in the basement. Yeah, but he cuts himself and it drains onto the floor, and then after he goes in his room, the camera lingers for a minute, and the blood's being kind of sucked off between the floorboards.
Yeah, that was me.
Are you sure that was you?
That was me.
I knew it. Hoovering up blood. Get out from under my floor. Quit hoovering up my body, Jess, as you say.
Wait, this is blood. I want something else.
A guy's gotta eat. Or in this case, a weird old lady. Weird old lady's gotta eat. Yeah. But yeah, probably the next big thing I recall through my haze is the guy. They're kind of going down the line asking all of the people because they still know that somebody is
on the island.
Has snuck onto the islet.
I think are they tossing runes already after that first?
I don't remember. What I do remember is that they kind of line everybody up on their knees.
Right, yes.
And make them all they ask them one by one, how they know about this and what do you know about, like, what is your devotion and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So obviously they're going to get to Thomas at one point, and he's not going to know what to fucking say because he doesn't know any of this shit.
They're reciting passages from, I assume, their prayer.
It's there, yeah, because when Thomas first gets to his room, he sees the Bible, the prophet, or prophecy of Malcolm, or by the prophet Malcolm, and he looks at it and just tosses it away.
He doesn't know anything about this shit.
You know, that's usually my response to any holy book that I find. I'll keep this in case I need toilet paper later.
Guess I need to.
But he, so the guy, or the three founders are also in kind of at war with the big government.
And that's part of why they're so concerned, because if this guy gets on the island, finds everything out, and gets back to the mainland, they're discussing this at one point, and he says if he gets off this island, the Queen's Guard will be here.
Yeah.
By this time next week or whatever.
It mentions somewhere later on that when they find the island, they're actually escaped convicts, I believe. They were on a ship. The three of them are convicted and sentenced to death, or at the very least, Malcolm and Quinn are.
I remember that they ended up on the island by accident.
Yeah. So
I thought it was shipwrecked or something.
for a number of reasons, there was a shipwreck, yeah. The number of reasons they don't want the king to know about this island or who's on the island. So they start reciting some of the verses from their Bible, and the guys that know the Bible pick it up right away and start repeating one after another where the last guy left off.
Yeah.
And it's getting right down to where Thomas's turn comes up, but the guy next to him shows that he also has a knife, and...
This is a plot armor moment.
Yeah, of course it is. So anyway, there was another guy who wasn't supposed to be there and didn't know the verses, and he lunges out and takes a stab at the guys.
That scene was really cool. Like, all the guards just going straight. The guy doesn't even die right away. It's
The fucking spears
just through him. It's like,
Yeah, that was gnarly, actually. He gets, like, while he's standing there, he gets, like, 5 spears thrown.
Yeah.
And it's
That's
just...
like different directions.
And it's great. It gets grim and gross. And that's one of the things I liked about this movie. I'd seen this once before, but I saw it way back when it first came out.
Yeah.
So
There's a wicked kill right near the end of the movie.
great ones. There's some great ones at that. There's some lulls of like
There is.
of like a lot of exposition and talking and intrigue and atmosphere and stuff.
Yeah.
But that fits for this kind of these kinds of horror movies are like that, like Midsummer. Kind of the weird cult movies.
Yeah. They like to draw out that tenseness.
Not the bees.
This is also 2018. That's just pre-COVID? Am I correct?
Yeah, a couple years. Just my years crew. Yeah, yeah.
Netflix was doing. We'll save it till the end, maybe for my final thoughts. But Netflix was doing a lot of fun things with their films and their Netflix originals at this time. I do think this movie probably could have been shrunk just a bit more in the editing.
Yeah, you could have chopped some of
15
the
minutes out of there.
Some of the randoms could have been cut out of there. You don't need, because the ancillary characters don't really matter very much.
Yeah, no, they don't. And that's
They're kind of just there to populate the island with people.
Yeah, they are. I want to say it anyway.
was that foreshadowing?
Yes, foreshadower. I barely know her. Yeah, I feel like they were going. Like Netflix specifically wanted a 2-hour movie. I could be. I'm pulling this up fast. I don't know. I haven't talked
To be
to the director.
fair,
I have no
I
idea.
wouldn't want to cut Gareth Evans' movie down either.
No.
Because in case you're not aware, friends, this is the man who made The Raid. We had The Raid too.
Yeah, and probably most of you haven't seen these movies. They're fucking awesome.
Yeah, literally top 5 best action movie of all time, The Raid.
You like action, just
In my opinion.
check them out, man. You're not gonna love it if you're people who don't like reading, which somehow action movies and not liking reading probably go hand in hand a little bit.
Well, they can watch the dubbed version if they're fucking plebes.
Yeah, I suppose. But they're fucking. There's such good action movies though. Fuck me, are they cool? Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal.
So anyway, the guy's done a few movies and they worked out well for him prior to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do like that spear kill is fucking awesome. I like the way they pin him to the floor too, so he can't even move. So he's like trying to reach forward and stab the guy, but he can't fucking get anywhere.
Yeah, because they pin him. Yeah, as you said, they very much pin him. Like they get kind of like how you pin an insect.
Totally.
It's one of those things. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it might have been this kill that made me think of the Black Death, just because it's such a medieval kill. Yes. Right? And like you shove 5 spears through him and the guy's not dead. Imagine a battlefield. That's what it would have been. Like you wouldn't die from getting a spear shoved through you, depending on where it was. You'd just be taken out with a giant stick in you.
That's the thing. Like the more it's like break. We don't need to go down True Crime Alley because we did that last week.
Yeah.
But one of the things you find a lot in true crime, I think I mentioned this last week, is that people die very cleanly in movies.
Yeah,
In real life,
It's not.
people often it's like, oh, a fatal wound. Whoops, I laid there for 12 hours.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of a wall at that point.
Quinn confronts Fionn about having the child in her. Says she can't have it because it would be an abomination. There's a scene earlier where we see an animal give birth, and the foal comes out all fucked up.
Oh, yeah. We don't need to hold off. No, we didn't tell the end to drop what's going on in this movie. So there's they found this old lady on this island who was like a nature god or something.
Some kind of a goddess, yes.
Yeah. And they've been feeding her blood.
That's where the blood's going.
And then in turn, what you see in action towards the end, as the Gregor's feeding her blood, you literally see the trees growing and like the branches around her kind of revitalizing and leaves coming out and turning green. Yeah.
Yeah, they're feeding a goddess of some type who they believe, or is, it's not a belief, you can see that she is.
She's some kind of mystical being, whether she be a goddess or a sorceress.
Absolutely. She's providing bounty to them. They rely on her for the crops, for their well-being of their livestock. She provides life to them.
They say throughout the movie that their crops aren't growing, and they keep feeding her blood and not doing anything.
This isn't going to bring back your bees.
That's right, the bees are brown.
Not the
Yeah.
bees.
Something's wrong with the goddess, and she's not providing any more. Quinn wants to feed her more blood. Nobody else does.
Well,
Quinn's a bloody kind of guy.
Queen's got quite a plan at the end of this movie. If I understood what his plan was correctly, he's got quite a nasty,
Just wants nasty plan, trying to let and shove them in the goddess's mouth.
Yep, that when you're talking about Mike, actually, it threw me through a loop. I was like, what the fuck?
Quinn doesn't like that his daughter's pregnant. It's going to be an abomination. He knows this, so he thinks she needs to get rid of it, and she does not believe that. Unfortunately, Quinn is much stronger and armed with a knife, and performs the medical surgery to remove the baby from his daughter. The daughter does not survive.
He takes a C-section to a whole other life.
Yeah.
That is basically the thing that happens before the end of the movie.
Yeah.
This is also the point. They're starting to kind of have some intrigue between the leaders, like some sort of Game of Thrones plot.
It's clear that Quinn wants to be the big chief.
Yeah. And that gets us to the moment where he's trying to get Malcolm to cut, because at this point they figured out. How do they figure out that Thomas is the guy?
They find the map that he made of the layout of...
I knew they found something in his room. I couldn't remember what it was.
Frank grabs Jeremy because he thinks it's Thomas from under the house, because that's where the house leads to the goddess.
To the goddess, yeah, because Thomas has figured a lot of this out, and he's starting to look around. He finds where they're keeping a goddess. Yeah, it's just help him get in there.
We should talk about that because that's a fucking gnarly.
It is, yeah.
Him crawling through the blood river.
Yeah, because he backs himself into a corner and can't go out because he's got, like you said, Frank pulls out Jeremy, and then it's Frank and Quinn and Malcolm are there, and they know someone's in there, and so they're gonna flush him out, and I think Malcolm's waiting on the other side, and he gets spooked because he can hear a horse whinny, and that's when he goes back down into the tunnels,
Right.
and takes that alternate road into the fucking gross blood river.
One of the the cool touch of that scene is that he goes in and then he goes back out that way because she's after him. The old lady, with the weird eyes, is kind of crawling after him in the blood, and that's a good horror. That is a good horror movie scene. Like that is like a.
Exactly, it's fucking awesome.
Like if you one of the great things about horror movies is you put yourself in the position of the character and you're like,
It's fucking nasty.
yeah, that would be a bad time for everyone involved.
So I think he pops out all covered in brown poop somewhere.
Yeah, there's an exit that makes brown stuff.
That's a bum.
Yeah, that's a bum.
And Thomas is still kind of disheveled, or not disheveled.
He's all fucked up.
He's all fucked up from getting chased by a ghoul.
Well, and going through the blood ocean and the shit ocean. Yeah, everything. Yeah, he had a bad day.
And he's still freaking out. And Andrea walks around the corner.
And that's
Malcolm.
right?
Yeah, that's Malcolm's daughter. And she's got clean clothes. Like, she knew he was down there, and she probably knew about the blood.
Yeah, she wasn't surprised about it.
No, like being that she's the prophet's daughter, she probably knows all this shit's going on.
And so she comes around, and they find Thomas finds a bunch of carvings or pictures drawn on the walls of this cave.
And they're like seem to be ancient, some ancient cultures. Yeah, drawings of this lady, Elvis.
Yeah, island and.
Anyway, that takes us to the final stretch of the movie. This is the moment where Quinn, what's his name, Thomas saved Malcolm's life.
Yeah.
That must be the reason why he's hesitating, right?
You already brought up the grinder, but like the vine face guy,
Yeah.
that's constantly like roaming around. You see him.
He's called the Grinder.
Oh, is he called?
I was gonna say, I think that's the grinder.
He's like the guardian of the goddess.
Yeah, the weird silent guardian. And we're never given any backstory on him. So he appears to be. There's only two solutions. Either he was there from the get-go when they got there, or they made him to be the guardian.
He's a combination of a man or what was once a man and the island. That is his head. That wicker shit is his head. It's not like a person wearing a
Right, and that's why at the end of the movie we see Thomas becoming this.
Exactly. Yes. Exactly.
I didn't take that from that. I thought he was just becoming one with their.
No, I just got that from him saying.
So that fucking grinder guy is like the custodian, and more like custodian slash
Bodyguard is what I would call it.
jail guard. More so keeping the goddess imprisoned there, but also keeping others out. And he's responsible for feeding the goddess. That's why he's the grinder. He grinds the meat and fucking shoves it down.
Yeah, and he used to like. It's clear he must have been there all along because it's clear. It's clear at the end when Quinn and Malcolm see him that they're kind of like, whoa.
Yep. They know he exists, and they also he's not to be. That's his space, and you know.
Do not fuck with this guy.
No, he's
When Frank is running away and Thomas is chasing after him, and then also Quinn and Malcolm are chasing after Thomas, he runs into the little tool shed thing and gets shot.
Yeah.
Which he's the one who's holding the gun.
Yeah. I like when he's the fucking Wicker Man guy. I'm gonna keep calling him the Wicker. Shoves the funnel in the goddess's mouth and then just starts picking up what I assume is just mulched people and starts shoving it down her fucking mouth.
Well, that's interesting because I watched this in two sittings. So as I saw the trees growing around her, at first I thought it was dirt. He was feeding her.
As you can't tell,
Because you feed the goddess dirt and the plants grow, right?
Yeah.
That just makes sense.
That's what I thought too, but
then it showed the body, the cut up body and the burlap sack and all that shit.
and they've got people just hanging there waiting to get
Hanging out.
Yeah.
Hanging out, Texas Chainsaw Massacre style.
Get mulched.
We skipped over Thomas's sister altogether. They shun her. They're like poking and prodding at her because she's the traitor. And they call her the traitor, and she's come to spy on the town, which they know that they're the one holding her for ransom.
Yeah, this is the moment where we finally see her.
Yes.
And know that's who she is.
They use her as bait earlier, but it's kind of a short. They try and get Thomas to come out by threatening her.
He's in his room and he's looking through the window as they're torturing her.
Yeah, and he has a little kind of meltdown and hides.
I do remember him kind of twitching out by the window in a shed.
But then their first meeting is where we're at right now.
The burlap sack.
Yeah, so she's hanging in one of the sacks. No, I mean, it doesn't really matter that much, but Malcolm is shot by Quinn. I guess it matters in that Quinn is trying to take control at this moment.
Yeah, Quinn is also somewhere around all these events. Forgive us, it gets a little hazy. Somewhere around those events, Quinn has captured Jeremy and has him strung up on a torture device.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. When you guys were saying the grinder, that's why I thought you guys were. Yeah, the torture thing with goes through your head.
Yeah, because
It like mills out your skull.
yeah, it bores a hole into your brain, into your skull.
There's some old shit in this. Very medieval, as you say. Very quite medieval.
Yeah, because Jeremy finds Quinn right after he killed Fionn, and then Quinn blames it on Jeremy.
Yeah, he tries to kill Quinn, and then Quinn being bigger and stronger, kind of
off.
yeah, and it's like, oh, he killed Fionn.
That's a fucking such a cool scene though, when he and it's so slow and methodical too. Like they lay it out, they clamp his legs in, he sets the thing just
Again, very black.
set. That's exactly.
There's a torture machine in the black and all that shit.
It could have been. This made me think of it, or a multitude of the way they kill people in this movie, because it's all very grim and grisly and medieval.
Yeah, people don't get killed often, but when they do, it's
It's nasty shit. Yeah.
Did they say what year they're in?
19th century, early 20th century.
So just in between were
Yeah.
Guns and there's a giant ferry steamboat at the end.
Anyway, that's basically this is like the climax of the movie.
Yeah, we're right.
Is what's his name? Thomas gets a hammer to the head, and Quinn abducts Malcolm's daughter,
Yeah, Andrea.
Andrea, and he's going to. I guess we got to say it. I believe what he's saying is that he's going to have sex with her and Thomas's sister,
Right?
create babies with them, and then feed the babies to the old lady.
Yes.
I believe that was the
That's his idea.
Yeah, it was like
It's a foggy blueprint, but
I was like, I think that's what he's saying. Like maybe he thinks that the youthful blood will be more palpable or something.
he just seems intent on the idea that the goddess just needs more.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, I believe I don't know where, but I believe it's specified it's supposed to be innocent blood. What innocent means in this situation, I'm not exactly.
Well, that makes sense because that's about as innocent as blood can get.
That's why I'm thinking that's where Quinn figured, hey, we should just do babies.
Yeah, and I believe at that point he is even criticizing Malcolm, saying like he didn't have what it takes to do what's necessary to keep this island going or whatever. Thomas has been hit over the head during the sort of altercation by the barn with the gunshot and the blah 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 and all that nonsense.
Yep.
He is struck in the head by the grinder.
Yes.
Who is the big weird silent guy.
Big fucking weird dude. And he gets him all strung up on that table too. That'd be fucking.
I can't believe nobody goes in that grinder.
Not all the way. I wish we would have seen one.
Thomas loses the hand,
Yeah.
which is it's gross and it's nasty. I love a good. I mean, anyone who's played the last two Resident Evil games knows a good hand mutilation goes a long way. Unfortunately, Thomas can't fix his hand as easily as Ethan Winters.
That's too bad. He's one hand man. No, Dennis Stevens Thomas is on the
old grinder machine, right? And we find out why he's called the grinder. Because
it grinds people all the
well, he's literally got a machine that grinds up human beings. Yeah, and Thomas has been strapped onto it while alive.
Yeah.
And he's basically being fed into like a medieval version of like a thresher.
Exactly.
It's gonna grind him up and turn him into meat.
But he's our main character, so he takes Wicker Man, beats him up, strings him up with a hook through the eye, drops a weight.
Yeah, it's cool how he escapes though.
Yeah.
He escapes because he's been tied and the machine's pulling him in.
Yeah, but
as it is, one hand gets grinded up.
Yeah.
And then that loosens the restraints.
Yeah.
So the grinder wasn't thinking this through.
No, he was his own.
He's had the same plan for the last 2,000 years.
fucking grinders.
you go.
I wish we would have seen a person go through it just once.
Wait, there's another guy that goes through the grind. Is that do we see? We don't really see it, but he does go. I think his head goes through, but I think they cut to
see much.
Thomas.
Yeah.
That's the thing, is like when you get to the end and then Thomas escapes, you're like, oh, so the grinder's gonna get grinded.
Yeah.
This is gonna be awful.
When he gets grinded.
Yeah, he almost gets grinded. And then he starts fighting back to Thomas, and you're like, fuck, someone's gonna go on the fucking grinder.
Yeah. Nobody's getting grinded, Mom.
Yeah.
Well.
Stop watching MTV, Kyle.
That's right.
No one's getting grinded.
And I think then Thomas and the goddess have a little chit chat, and the goddess has been showing herself to Thomas sort of throughout the film. There's a couple times where she's seen strolling through the woods looking quite motherly.
We don't really know what her deal is because she never speaks. But see, the implication seems to be that she knows this is the person who will finally free her, or something.
It does seem that way because this is where she digs her nails into his temples, right?
Yeah.
And shows him some of the backstory.
Yeah.
At least of Quinn and Malcolm.
Yeah, he's like, exposition.
Yes. Exposition fingers.
Yes.
I've used those a time or two. So then the goddess says to Mr. Thomas, set me free.
Again, she doesn't actually say anything.
She doesn't?
I don't think so. She's kind of
Something gives him the sickness.
she said, well, I think she doesn't say anything. It's like the fact that she showed him that.
Yeah.
and she smiled when the grinder was killed, finally.
Right.
And then she showed him that, and then he's standing there with the torch, the lantern, and he's gonna throw it at her, and she's smiling.
Okay.
And so it's like it's just
she wasn't
kind of
saying.
just implying
Okay, fair enough.
that she's like finally I get to fucking die.
Yeah, by this point in the movie, you start to see like that the goddess is very much a prisoner. She's not being worshipped in the way that she probably wishes she was being worshipped. She's being strung up and force-fed humans.
You know, this didn't occur to me until just this moment, but I wonder if I would think, now that I have the thought, she's meant to be like, what do you call it?
She's an allegory. She's
A metaphor for Mother Earth.
She is, absolutely.
Like this creature that should be revered and respected, and is just being
Instead is being
treated like
Yes.
treated like a thing that, as Quinn says at the end, she's a machine. You put blood in, and she creates this.
She ain't treated as a resource.
Oh, exactly. Quinn and Malcolm are talking. I don't remember who they're talking to, but it might be Thomas that when they first came to the island, they found something and they Quinn imprisoned it in vines and chains.
Yeah, this is his exposition thing that he's dropping on the other side of the island with the two girls. Yeah, that he's
That's correct. Yeah. Oh, it is the two girls.
Why he's so pissed off at Malcolm and why he has so much resentment for him is he's like, I'm the one who found her, I'm the one who tied her up, I'm the one who fed her blood, and Malcolm kind of took over because Malcolm was the spiritual one that people connected with.
Right. Because nothing had said to them, hey, we need to tie this thing up and feed her blood. Quinn's just like, you know what would be a good idea right now?
Well, he is a Conde. So
Use her for our own good.
Yeah. Whose blood did they use? Was it theirs? Was it probably at the start?
no, actually, they show the first time she's fed rabbit blood.
Yes, that's right. They started.
That's right.
Yes.
He breaks a rabbit's neck and cuts it open and feeds her its blood.
Yep. Now I need your help, Mike. Where does it go? What or you, Brady? What happens to Quinn? Where is it? Where do we go from the girls being over?
So this is the climax of the movie.
Yeah.
So this is
You just watched it, you know.
yeah. One of the girls gets the shotgun,
Yes.
and it's Thomas's sister, and she's trying to aim. Of course, it's the classic movie thing.
Yeah.
They're struggling together, and she's trying to, can I hit him without killing my brother? And then the other girl takes Andrea. Andrea takes the shotgun away from her and just shoots the chain that they're being held by on the wall.
Yeah, and then Quinn and Thomas are wrestling on the floor, stabbing the shit out of each other.
Thomas takes enough stabs that you're like, oh, okay,
He's done.
Yeah, you're like, this guy's not surviving this movie.
Yeah, he's toast.
And then Quinn is in the middle of cutting his throat when Andrea grabs Quinn from behind with the chain and starts choking him. And then the sister Jennifer joins in, and they're really yanking on this guy's neck. And then while they're dragging him away, Thomas awesomely holds onto the knife that's stuck in him.
That's the
And it's fucking
Just
he gets disemboweled.
loved.
Evisceration plague for my Cannibal Club's friends.
Just hold the knife as it's just
I love
fucking.
it's like the most effortless kill.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't
Just
even have
holding-
he's like, I don't even have to disembowel this guy. I just have to hold this knife while they pull him back.
He's just the blade. The guy.
And there's actually, I can't remember, I think it's Andrea, who looks very horrified after. I mean, I wanted him dead, but yikes.
I think she calls him uncle through at least one point throughout the movie. It would be because it's her father who's the prophet. What and then the two like Frank and Quinn are like, I guess, uncles, and she talks to
This is
Leon.
I believe this is what you would. I think this would be the uncle you don't invite over for Thanksgiving.
Why not? You get to get him drunk and hear all his racist stories.
Well, I won't get it. But this is the uncle you don't want to invite over for Thanksgiving. Yeah, so I mean, that's basically the end of the movie.
It is.
Quinn's dead. Malcolm's fate has been kind of left unclear. He's been shot, and he fell down this sort of crawl space area. One of those areas that I think leaks to the Blood Lady or whatever.
Yeah,
I think so.
It's the same tunnel that early on in the film, Malcolm's up on top and he sees Thomas's lantern, and Thomas backs up, and then he sees another lantern and shoots, and it's Quinn down there instead of Thomas, because Thomas hides in the blood river.
Yeah.
And he shoots the wood. So that's the first implication of like, oh yeah, they're not afraid to shoot and kill.
Yeah.
Even though they say don't kill him, we want to interrogate him to see where he's
Right.
If we can get the ransom, or if he's part of the Queen's Guard or King's Guard.
Yeah, and that went out the window, hey?
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so like this is basically the end of the movie now. The villain has been destroyed, the goddess has been killed, her guardian dude is dead, so the island's fucked now. And is it? Well, we see that true. We see that the fire seems to be spreading to the village, which suggests that her branches kind of connect to the village in some way, in the way that they would cause the buildings to burn. Yeah, almost like the roots that come out of her are connected to everything in the village or something like that. I don't know. It's kind of unclear. All you see is that the entire village seems to be bursting into flames and everyone's running away.
Right. Yeah. And then, so in the last few moments, there's the explosion on the cliffside when they're leaving with the blood that pours out.
That's so fucking sweet that the wall blows out and all that blood. That's the
Blood river, yeah.
fucking sweet metal shit.
The other big Thomas is laying on the ground bleeding out, and Malcolm comes up, and Thomas's blood is starting to revitalize the grass around him already. And it's almost, to me, that says, I mean, this is, I guess, the question posed at the end of the film, but to me, it's that the island was its own thing, and maybe the figure we see was just its sort of avatar, chosen one or whatever, right? As such, it could
Like she
find
could have
the next
just
person.
been, she could have just been some random chick, who also found herself on the island. Right, the island chose her, for whatever reason.
We see her do to Thomas the same thing, and his eyes cloud over, which we see again at the end as the vines are starting to kind of creep into his skin. His eyes cloud over. Yeah, so it could be meant to. You could assume that maybe that means he's going to be the next.
I think that's the implication, and I think the reason he smiles at that is the fact that he used to be a man of God.
Yeah.
And now he is basically a
Now he's a god, or has been chosen by a god to.
Probably that more specifically.
It puts him in a Jesus role, I guess. And,
Yeah.
Pretty fucking sweet.
Yeah, cool fucking movie. Definitely worth a watch. No, like not a 5-star movie. I know, and as well as final thoughts because the movie's over anyway, essentially. So yeah, I would put it in the 3.5 to 4-star range.
It's fair.
I think it's got a lot of cool shit in it and some fucking nasty kills.
Nice kills.
Which is, I mean, if you're a horror fan, that's what you're there for. Like, even when the movie sucks, if it's got some good fucking kills in it, you're gonna be like, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean,
It was my total waste of time.
exactly. There's entire franchises built around that.
Many of them.
Yeah.
So overall, I think I like these kinds of movies. I like the weird cult sort of gothic horror,
Yeah, dude.
ritualistic. I like these kinds of horror movies. They don't come along that often.
No.
So when they do, and you find one that's good, they're nice to have.
There's a lot of gems.
Yeah, they're just, you don't get many of these because they're not like box office gold like slashers are.
Nope.
Or some other kinds of horror.
Oh, they say boring in it wouldn't do well in a theater. No, it just wouldn't.
No, and I don't think there's ever been a movie like this that has really set the world on fire, financially speaking.
Yeah.
People like these movies, but they're not big financial success.
No, this would have been a bomb, and then 10 years later, people would be like, hey, remember that awesome movie that came out that nobody liked and watched?
Yeah.
Kind of like we're doing right now.
Well, interestingly, The Ritual was also a Netflix movie. And that's another movie I was thinking of a lot when I was watching this.
I got a lot of that vibe too. Me too. It's
Well,
also
because it's a weird creature who lives in like in that movie it's the woods. Yeah, but close enough.
Very similar. It's another movie I think that's on my list, whether I will or won't. Who knows?
Great movie.
it's such a good fucking movie, but
I love the creature at the end.
me too.
It's fucking weird.
It's fucking awesome. I'll do it eventually. It just might not do it back to back after this one.
No, fair enough. Yeah. Anyway, I like the movie, and I'm glad I got a chance to rewatch it because I didn't remember it that well. I watched this right when, literally, like the night or the second night or within the week that it came out.
Yeah.
I was watching this movie.
Nice, dude.
And all I remembered really is that Thomas dies at the end. I remember that there's a sweet scene where he busts the thing and uses them as spears, and yeah, there was like a few things I remembered, but it was pretty cloudy.
Right.
So I'm glad I got the chance to watch it again, and I actually really. This is another one of those ones where you suggest it, and I was like, I don't know about that movie. And then when I watched it, though, I was like, yeah, okay, that was pretty fucking tight.
Can we jump to mine? Because I have a final thoughts. My final thoughts are going to closely intertwine with some of yours.
For sure, yeah.
And it's very much to that. Like, I remember watching it closer to the timeline when it came out. I remember liking it and thinking it was fucking awesome. And then it kind of fades from your memory.
That's what it was. Is I didn't really remember it, and that's what makes you think like maybe it wasn't that memorable.
Right. And I think the biggest problem is again, this is Netflix doing their thing, pumping out fucking Netflix movies after Netflix movies. Some were misses, some were hits, but it was so much. It was just a numbers thing that some of the really good ones like this
Get lost
in the shit. And like you said, 3.5, 4 stars, absolutely, it's right in that range. But it is a solid fucking horror movie.
Oh, yeah.
And for people that love horror and maybe somehow missed this or didn't have a Netflix subscription, I don't know how you're watching it now if you don't. It's a fucking great movie, and it deserves to be seen and not just left under the radar.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. I think, like, not to go on a huge tangent, but that's one of the things, like, when we were growing up, you could digest all of pop culture
Right.
in a reasonable critically and kind of be caught up on everything. But now there's like 25 different streaming services all releasing their own stuff. It's basically impossible to keep track of everything. And as you said, things like this will get stuck. Yeah, will often get lost in the shuffle because it's like one of 3 movies that Netflix dropped that night. Meanwhile, Paramount dropped a movie. Fucking Amazon Prime dropped 2 movies. Like, it's like all these different things are coming out all the time, and you're like,
There's like 10 subscription services.
it's impossible. It's just impossible to keep us with it all.
They compete and we lose. There's so many good movies lost in the shuffle of these fucking subscription services as they pump their shit out that just don't get the credit they deserve. I hope they all made their money. I hope the actors got paid and the director, but you know what I mean. I'm sure that's fine. I'm sure they're
streaming service bought your thing.
Yeah.
Then at least everybody got paid.
Exactly. I'm sure they're fine, but I hope people watch these movies. They're fucking good, man.
Yeah, there are definitely a lot like The Ritual. That's another movie.
It's another
Great movie that basically came out and then like a few people watched it and then it just basically disappeared on this earth.
That movie is such a good fucking horror movie. It is so good, and the fact that it doesn't get this recognition that it could if it was a theatrical release is just too bad.
It's a bummer, man.
Yeah, that's too bad. It makes me sad. I'm sad for the artistes.
I agree. Mr. Silzer, what do we got, man?
Didn't even hear about this movie. Also, I'm not a Netflix person.
I think there's probably a bay of pirates. Let's stand Anyway, continue.
No, this is a stellar movie. It gave me a lot of Resident Evil 4 vibes. When I was telling Kyle on the car ride here, like if you told me this is a prequel to Resident Evil 4 as a movie, I would have believed.
I didn't get that, but I can see it. Like 100%.
You know, like the grinder's design.
He looks like Dr. Salvador, the chainsaw guy from Resident Evil 4. Yeah.
Yeah. And even like the way the people act when Thomas gets to the village, it almost felt like Resident Evil. I was like, did they literally just play Resident Evil 4 and then make a movie? I was like, I wasn't mad about it. I had a fun time. The kills are awesome.
I mean, I doubt it is, but that could be a genesis for this movie. Gareth, I was playing fucking Resident Evil 4 and being like, fucking wait a minute.
Mr. Evans, you have to finish the script. What more second? Playing Resident Evil. Oh shit, I got a movie.
I'm sending my right hand. Quinn, your right hand comes off. Anyway, yeah. Cool.
Was that, sorry, were you... Oh yeah, no, my final thought is I'm going to rewatch it just because how much I enjoyed it. Cool. It's the one I have to think about too much, which usually Kyle's picks are ones you have to...
Yeah, this is
it's a watch and kind of like enjoy.
It leaves you with things to think about at the end.
Yeah.
But it's a pretty straightforward story.
Like I'm still curious like how the goddess got there and like what if Thomas became the new god or like you guys already said. Yeah, no, that my fault. That's great movie. Also,
definitely worth watching. Yeah,
the cast is pretty fucking awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even the actors that I'm not familiar with, everybody does a pretty. There's no loser actors in this. Like, there's nobody. Loser actors is maybe a bit denigrating. But there's no weak links. It's probably the more polite way.
There's like 2 younger people, Jeremy and Fionn. Obviously, I've never seen them anywhere before.
But they do a good job,
and they're great. Andrea does great. Quinn was a standout. I don't know what else he's done, but as a fucking
yeah, he's awesome. If you've seen Black Sails, I think he's on Black Sails.
Okay, nice.
But I could be wrong about that. He looked familiar to me, but I couldn't place where he was, and I was too lazy to look where he was. I'm pretty sure he was on either Vikings or Black Sails.
That seems.
He looks like that kind of
Yeah.
rough and tumble dude.
He's like the biggest one out of the whole cast.
Yeah, and the voice. He's got that.
yeah, he's got a rough, resonant, deep voice.
Yeah, fuck yeah, he does.
Anyway, Quinn's dad in this episode is also dead. So, that wraps us up for the 2018 Gareth Evans film, Just the Apostle, not The Apostle. And that takes us to our friend, Mr. Brady Silger, the guy we were just hearing about from the final talks. Brady, what do we got for next week?
Gremlins 2. Blade. We're doing Blade. I wanted Gremlins 2.
I'll tell you what, man, I fucking love Blade. It's a kind of a cheesy. It's cheesy, but it's a
good fucking time.
Fucking fun movie, man. That's a lot of fun that movie is.
Fuck yeah.
So I'm excited. Yeah, that's good news. I'm excited to watch Blade again because I haven't watched that in a long time, and it's fucking tight.
Me neither, yeah. Hell yeah. Good choice, dude.
Nice.
You're on a run, man.
Auto
You're on a run.
It's you, though. One would say I sharpened my sword.
Oh, Bladey. Anyway, until next week when that Blade's got to cut something, we'll see you in
7 days.
And until then,
Keep your eyes open.
and we're out.